So you think you are better than me now? How dare you try to make something of yourself after all I have done for you? Chike, however, had grown stronger and more self-assured. Once upon a time, in the village of Umudo, there lived a poor man named Chika. Despite his humble means, Chika was known for his hardworking nature and his kind heart. He spent his day working tirelessly as a farmer, dreaming of a better life and hoping for a bit of fortune to smile upon him. One day, Chika met Amaka, the daughter of a wealthy businessman. Amaka was beautiful and elegant, living in a grand house filled with luxuries and comforts. Though she was accustomed to a life of abundance, she found Chika's genuine spirit and unwavering determination appealing. Despite the difference in social status, Amaka fell in love with Chika and they eventually got married. At first, their marriage seemed promising. Chika moved into Amaka's opulent home, leaving behind his modest village life. The grandeur of his new surrounding was overwhelming. However, it wasn't long before the initial excitement began to fade, revealing the darker side of their relationship. Amaka's attitude towards Chika soon turned cold and condescending. She would often remind him of his humble origin, making degrading comments about his background. One day, as Chika returned from the market with groceries, he opened the fridge to get a drink of water. Amaka, noticing Chika's action, sneered at him with contempt. "Do you even know how to use a fridge?" she asked sharply. "Have you ever had a drink from there before? Just because you live in a house like this now doesn't mean you belong here. You should remember where you came from." Her words stung deeply, but Chika, trying to keep the peace, quietly closed the fridge and walked away. This incident was just one of many instances where Amaka belittled Chika, treating him as an outsider in the very home he had hoped would be his sanctuary. Amaka's behavior grew increasingly cruel. She criticized Chika's every action, from his clothing to the way he cooked his meals. She belittled his efforts to adapt to his new lifestyle and often made him feel unworthy of the life they shared. The difference between their words became more pronounced, and Chika felt increasingly isolated and humiliated. Despite his attempts to maintain a harmonious relationship, Amaka's harsh treatment made it clear that she viewed him as an inferior of his previous status, and made Chika question his worthiness in the opulent world he had once yearned for. As time went on, tension between Chika and Amaka grew more pronounced. The atmosphere in the grand house, once filled with the promise of a new beginning, was now overshadowed by Amaka's harsh treatment. Chika, despite his efforts to maintain patience, found it very difficult to endure the constant belittling. One evening, Amaka hosted a lavish dinner party to celebrate her father's recent business success. The house was decorated with fine linens, and guests filled the rooms, chatting and laughing. Chika, although initially excited to be part of such a grand event, was relegated to the background, serving the guests and staying out of sight. Amaka, in her usual condescending manner, made sure to emphasize Chike's lower status. She instructed him to remain in the kitchen, ensuring that he was neither seen nor heard by the guests. As the evening progressed, Amaka made several bad remarks about Chika's origin and his lack of refinement, doing so in a way that will entertain the guests at Chika's expense. Chika overheard one of her comments. It's amusing to think that someone who used to live in a thatched house is now mingling with the elites. But of course, it's clear he hasn't quite learned how to blend in. Her sharp words cut deep, but Chika managed to keep his composure, focusing on his duties and avoiding confrontation. However, the repeated insults were wearing him down, and he found solace only in a quiet moment when he could escape to the small simple corner of the house that he has managed to make his. One day, after a particularly harsh argument in which Amaka criticized his inability to navigate high society's standards, Chika reached to a breaking point. He retreated to the small corner of their home, where he sat quietly, reflecting on his situation. He thought about the dreams he once had, the life he had left behind, and was faced with the reality of his present life. As he sat there, a thought began to take shape in his mind. He realized that his love for Amaka and his dream of a better life had come to a significant end. He began to consider whether he could continue living in such an environment where he was constantly reminded of his background. Chika started to contemplate his opinions. He wondered if it was possible to change his situation, to reclaim his dignity and find a path that would allow him to be true to himself. As he wrestled with these thoughts, he knew that the path ahead would not be easy, but he was determined to seek a solution that would allow him to regain his sense of self-worth. Determined to reclaim his dignity, Chika began to quietly strategize his next step. He recognized that his situation could not continue indefinitely. He started to save a portion of the money he earned from occasional odd jobs, hoping to build a small reserve that could offer him some independence. One day, Chika met an old friend from his village who had recently moved to the city and was doing well on a modest business. This friend, noticing Chika troubled, reached out to him. Chika confided in him about his struggles with Amaka and the way she treated him. His friend listened sympathetically and offered practical advice on how to navigate his situation. Chika, it's clear that you are unhappy and being mistreated, his friend said. While you are working through this, consider building your own future. Sometimes, taking small steps towards independence can make a significant difference. Inspired by his friend's conversation, Chika began to explore opportunities for small business venture. He started with something simple, making and selling traditional crafts in the local markets. As he worked on this project, he found a sense of purpose and satisfaction that had been missing from his life. Meanwhile, Amaka continued her life of luxury and social events, largely oblivious to Chika's growing determination. She maintained her disdainful attitude, often making comments about Chika's new venture, dismissing it as a mere hobby. One evening, Amaka returned from a high-profile party and noticed Chika's growing collection of handmade crafts. She scoffed at them and said, "It's amusing that you are wasting your time on these trinkets. Do you really think they will ever amount to anything?" Chika, though hurt by her words, did not let them deter him. He continued to dedicate time and effort to his small business, and gradually his craft gained recognition and appreciation in the local markets. He started earning more money and was able to save enough to consider moving into a modest apartment of his own. Despite Amaka's persistent disdain, Chika found solace in his newfound independence and growing success. He made connection with other artisans and local vendors, building a network that supported his endeavors. As his business flourished, he also began to experience a renewed sense of self-worth. Chika's success did not go unnoticed by Amaka. Her initial amusement turned into irritation as she saw Chika's craft being praised and bought by more people. She started to feel a pang of jealousy and frustration, realizing that Chika was no longer the submissive and powerless figure she had once controlled. One day, Amaka confronted Chika with a mixture of anger and disbelief. "So you think you are better than me now? How dare you try to make something of yourself after all I have done for you?" Chika, however, had grown stronger and more self-assured. He met her anger with calm resolve. "Amaka, I never sought to be better than you. I've simply worked to build a life where I can respect myself. If you can't accept that, perhaps it's time we reevaluate our life together." Chika's response left Amaka momentarily speechless. The realization that Chika was no longer under her control or dependent on her created a mix of anger and insecurity within her. She had grown accustomed to the dynamic where she held all the power, and Chika's newfound independence threatened her sense of superiority. Amaka's frustration grew as she saw Chika's business thrive. His crafts were now featured in the local markets and even received praise from some prominent figure in the city. It became clear that he was no longer the man she had belittled. He was now a respected member of the community with his own successes and connection. One day, Chika received an invitation to showcase his crafts at a significant art fair. It was a major opportunity for him to expand his business and gain future recognition. He was thrilled, knowing this could be a turning point for his career. When he shared the news with Amaka, expecting her to be supportive, she reacted with cold indifference. "You are spending so much time on this fair," Amaka said dismissively. "Is it really worth all these fuss? You are just a small-time craftsman, not someone who belongs in those circles." Despite her lack of encouragement, Chika remained focused on preparing for his fair. The night before the event, he worked late into the night, making final adjustments to his displays and ensuring everything was perfect. His determination and dedication were evident, and his friends from the village came to offer additional support and encouragement. The art fair was a resounding success. Chika's crafts were met with admiration and sold well, bringing in substantial revenue. He gained new contacts and clients, and his reputation as a skilled artisan grew. The event also drew the attention of local media, which featured Chika and his story of perseverance and success. Upon returning home, Chika was met with a different Amaka, her face written with disbelief. She could no longer ignore the fact that Chika's achievements were real and significant. She attempted to bridge the growing gap between them, but the damage done was not easily repaired. Amaka approached Chika with a more calm attitude. I didn't realize how much you have accomplished. Perhaps I underestimated you. Maybe there is a way we can work together to make things better for both of us. Chika, while acknowledging Amaka's attempt at reconciliation, was cautious. He knew that true change requires more than just words. He agreed to have an open conversation about their future, laying out his expectations for mutual respect and partnership. Their discussion revealed deeper issues in their relationship. Amaka had to confront her own insecurities and the reasons behind her cruel behavior. For Chika, it was a chance to assert his boundaries and ensure that any future relationship with Amaka would be based on mutual respect and equality. As they navigated these discussions, Chika continued to build his business and regain his sense of self-worth. He was no longer the man who was belittled. He had become a symbol of resilience and success. As Chika and Amaka continued their discussions, Amaka reflected on her actions and acknowledged her jealousy and insecurity. Chika in turn expressed how deeply Amaka's disrespect and belittling had hurt him. However, both were committed to addressing their issues honestly. Amaka began to make genuine efforts to support Chika, attending his business events and showing interest in his work. She apologized for her past behavior and worked on building a more supportive and respectful relationship. Over time, the couple's relationship improved. They found a new equilibrium where Amaka's respect for Chika's achievements and Chika's commitment to standing up for himself created a more balanced partnership. They learned to value each other's strengths and support each other's dreams. As years went by, Chika and Amara's marriage enveloped into one of a mutual respect and understanding. Their experience taught them that love and partnership required efforts and that overcoming challenges was possible when both individuals were willing to grow and adapt. The moral lesson from this story of Chika and Amaka illustrates that respect and understanding are fundamental to any relationship. True love and partnership are built on equality and mutual support, not control or superiority. Overcoming personal insecurities and learning to appreciate one another's strengths can transform relationships, leading to growth and harmony. Thank you for watching my video. If you know you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so as to be notified when I post another video. See you in my next video. Bye.